The final morning arrived. We said goodbye to the beautiful garden and balcony of the Boerhof Hotel, both covered in a thin layer of frost, and headed to Freiburg. We took advantage of our last few hours for some shopping and a final stroll through the city that had become a home away from home during this trip, soaking up the last of the European atmosphere. The drive from Freiburg toward the Rhine Falls was one of the most beautiful of the trip. The scenery shifted before our eyes, from brilliant white snowback to deep green, following the temperature changes. Along the way, we saw a magnificent sight, completely frozen trees that looked like almond blossoms in full bloom in the heart of winter. When we reached the Rhine Falls, the power of the rushing water and the cold mist welcomed us. We stood there facing the strength of nature, enjoyed a warm crepe, and felt the peace that only the water can bring. Our last stop was Zurich. We parked in the heart of the city and went for a farewell stroll through the brightly lit and decorated streets. The city was vibrant and festive, and we tried to hold onto every memory and every decoration. But the most moving moment awaited us just as we were heading back to the car for the airport. On our way back to the car, we hesitated between two paths, finally choosing the narrow one along the lake. The moment we entered the trail, there he was, a lone swan on the water, who, just as we passed, began a small performance, spreading his wings and dancing on the water just for us. We had no doubt it was Bar saying goodbye, thanking us for taking her with us on this journey. Emotional and filled with her signs, we drove to the airport, returned the car, and flew back home, with Bar's light accompanying us all the way back to Israel.
Bar, a true heroine, whose determination saved hundreds of partygoers. When the sirens began at 6:29 a.m., Bar and her friends fled to their car and began driving on Route 232. The entrance to Be'eri, they were stopped by a police checkpoint and directed back toward the party due to fear of terrorist infiltration. After making a U-turn and driving a short distance, they encountered terrorists on Route 232, who opened fire with a horrific barrage. The car was disabled and slid into a ditch. Bar was seriously wounded by a bullet to her thigh. In moments of supreme inner strength, courage, heroism, and leadership, Bar exited the vehicle while bleeding and under heavy fire. She located an abandoned vehicle, started the engine, and evacuated her friends. She got into the driver's seat and raced back toward the party area on a dirt path parallel to Route 232. She insisted on warning the partygoers that terrorists were shooting everywhere, thereby saving many more lives. The moment she reached the area, the officers on the ground understood what was happening and redirected the escape route for everyone who could still flee and save themselves. 50 meters before the command post, she lost consciousness due to blood loss and the car came to a stop. Her friends fled and were saved. Bar was rescued from the car by several angels, the late Ido Adri and the Sherabi brothers, who treated her with a tourniquet, restored her pulse, and then Bar Kuperstein evacuated her to the command post. All while she was mumbling that there are terrorists shooting and pleading to warn everyone. At the command post, another angel joined her, the late Liran Barda, who treated her and kept her alive. She refused to leave her side despite the ongoing shelling and the arrival of more terrorists in the area. The command post was attacked again, and Bar and Liran met their end at that very spot. 5 friends went to the party. Bar Zohar and Matan Zanti were murdered. 3 of their friends and hundreds of others were saved thanks to her heroism. After Bar's death, we found hundreds of songs she had written, some of which have already been composed. Puzzle and Magic Hourglass. Search for her on her memorial channel. Bar Zohar Tael. In one of the songs Bar wrote in October 2022, she said, "How terrifying it is to explain the magnitude of the pain of October 7th. Bar left a gaping, bleeding hole in all of our hearts. We miss you dearly and love you forever. We will do everything so that no one will ever forget you."